Okay, so anything that you need for under your head, anything that you need if you need to be on your elbows when we do planks, any sponge or roll that you need under your low back for stability or just for a support, just grab it now and keep it next to you. So sitting down, find the tips of your sit bones. So rock the pelvis forward and back a little bit. All right, I have to redo all of this. Okay, so let's just rock the pelvis forward and back a little bit. Find the tips of the sit bones. And then stack the ribs over the pelvis and stack your head over the ribs. So make sure your head is not coming forward. Push the shin back a little bit to the back of the throat and lengthen the back of the head. If you're uncomfortable sitting here and you feel anything on your hip flexors, just sit on something a little bit higher, okay? Good, relax your arms and let's go to our breath. So let's just start with a breath in the whole torso from the belly up to the ribs. So breathing into the belly, expanding to the back and side of the rib cage. Breathing out. If you're ready, pull the pelvic floor from pubic bone to tailbone, sit bones lift, sink the pubic bone, abdominals lift, hug the hip bones and the ribs. And breathing. If you're not ready to start the pelvic floor and the whole inner core activation, just keep breathing until you're ready to pull the pelvic floor. So let's go for about 6 to 8 breaths. And when you start getting ready to activate, I'm going to keep cueing, then go ahead and activate what you can, okay? So again, pull from the pubic bone back to the tailbone when you activate the pelvic floor. The sit bones come together. We lift everything and we hug. Who is Zenia Alderisi? I have no idea who that is. Just joined our meeting.
Hi, Mona, it's my daughter. She's trying to use another device. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, oh my God, we're being hacked.
No, don't worry. It's not a Zoom crash.
Okay. Okay. So give me 1 or 2 last breaths. I lost count. Good. By now, you should really activate that core. You should really feel that spine lengthening as you breathe in. Okay, let's add the arms, just warm up. So we're going to breathe in, arms to ceiling. Breathe out, bring the arms down. So a reminder, as the arms go up and down, make sure that your ribs are not popping and your back is not arching. You're keeping that connection from the ribs to the pelvis with no movement on the rib cage or the back. Just the arms. So if you need to bring the arms a little bit in front of you because your shoulders are tight and that makes you arch, that's fine too. Give me 2 more. Also, we're relaxing the shoulders and moving from the outer arm. So there should be no lifting of the shoulders. Last one. Good. And then we're going to lift the right arm up. It's going to come up. You're going to reach the arm, whichever arm you want. Good. So I'm going to just mirror you. Up. Anchor the sit bone. Shift the rib cage, keep it lifted as you shift and go to the side. This hand is here to support. Don't lean into the hand, keep the weight here. Look at me, good. Keep your top ear lifting up to the ceiling so your head is not collapsing. Rotate the armpits in, open up the shoulder, lock your elbows and reach everything on your right side away. Now lift the rib cage over the pelvis, shift and reach a little bit more. Keeping the right sit bone down and bring it back. Okay, let's fix the other side as well. So left arm goes up, lengthen. Keep the shoulder wide, rotate, open up that scapula. Good, lock the elbow. Reach, anchor that left sit bone and shift the rib cage, go up and over. Remember the elbow's locked, you're reaching the sit bone down and the arm away. Breathe into the ribs. Breathe out, lift the rib cage and then shift. You shouldn't be falling too much to the side, but keep the arm here. Watch your shoulders, Vanya. Also, be careful not to sit back. You're Both your body is inside the toaster. One more breath, reach a little bit more, lift and reach and come down. Roll the shoulders, and we're gonna do it one more time. So arm goes up to ceiling. Again, please don't lift from the shoulder. Open and then lift from here. Anchor everything. Put your body inside the toaster. If you don't have to touch your arm, don't. Lift the rib cage away from the pelvis and go into that side flexion. Look at the line that I have. Everything is really reaching. Rania, your shoulder. You're like this. Yeah? Para cat. Relax the shoulder. Breathe out. I want 3 breaths. So breathe into the rib cage open. Breathe out, lean. Find yourself inside that toaster. Reach more, lean more. I'm okay with this hand here, but don't support it. Yeah? Come back. 3 to 4 breaths on the other side. Reach, anchor, connect the ribs and the pelvis. Bring the sit bones together a little bit and go up and over. Lock that elbow. Breathe in, lift the rib cage off the pelvis, opening this rib cage. Breathe out, go a little bit more. Good. Lift, 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 and then try to go, keeping that sit bone really anchored. This is the 4th breath. And come back and roll the shoulders. Nice. All right, so I'm not gonna do a lot of rotations today. We're gonna move, as we move, we're gonna do it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move to our back. We're gonna do pelvic flop. So we're gonna be tilting the pelvis this way and side to side. Hands behind your thigh or hands in front of you. Scoop the abdominals and come down into your back. Good. Get your heels in alignment with your sit bones, your toes facing forward. Excellent. And then let's get all that alignment. The heels in alignment with your sit bones, knees in alignment with your hip bones, arms next to you, either bent, something behind your head if you need. Otherwise, tuck your chin, lengthen the back of the neck, the base of the skull, and the back of the head is on the mat. Breathe in to the back and side of the rib cage. Breathe out, pull the pelvic floor, sink the abdominals, hug the hips and the ribs towards the center of the body. Keep breathing. If you can't activate your core, 2 fingers just inside your hip bone, press inward. Keep breathing to the back and side of the ribs. On the breath out, pull the pelvic floor, sink and hollow the abdominals away from your fingertips. Lift the abdominals. As you do that, try to bring the hip bones together and your ribs gently together. 3 more. As you keep breathing in and out, make sure that you're gently hollowing and activate. You're not pressing the abdominals together and pushing the abdominals to the ceiling. Last one. Good. And then we're going to move into our marches. So bring your hands to your, pelvic lock. We're going to breathe out, scoop the abdominals, lift, imprinting the back into the mat. Remember, the butt is soft, and you're lifting through the abdominals to push that low back into the mat, connecting to the bottom rib. Lengthen the tailbone and the pubic bone forward. Keep the rib cage still, arch the low back gently, and dip your pubic bone down between your ankles. Breathe out, imprint, breathe in, lengthen, arch, and tilt. You can barely see my tilt, but look, my hand goes through my low back. Breathe out. It doesn't have to be that much of an arch for you. Arch. Really release that pelvis. Really release that low back. By now, it should be a little less grippy. Last one. Good. Release it to about a neutral. And we're now going to go side to side. So keep your waist aligned. We're not going to come up from the hip and the waist. We're just going to lengthen and go straight up to the ceiling. So I want you to squeeze your butt closest to the screen. Lift that hip up as you press the other one down. Don't let that waistline come up to the ribs. Push it away and then go straight up and down. Okay, rib cage doesn't move and knees don't move. Then the other side, you lengthen that side, squeeze and lift and down. So the knees are just gonna follow, they're not collapsing. Lift, and it's going slightly up as I go up with the side and down. So if you need to keep your hand on your waist, go ahead and make sure that it's not hiking up. It's just going straight up to the ceiling because you're squeezing this butt. And if you want to make it harder, the side that's going down, press it down even more with the back of the body. Good. So squeeze and then use the abdominals to help continue lift. And then this side that's down, use the back of the body to press down even deeper and down and lengthen and squeeze and lift and press the other side down. Breathe in to come back to center, lengthening, breathe out, lift. Breathe in down to center and lengthen, breathe out, lift. Good, last one to the opposite side and down. Good, so we activated a little bit of the side of the body. Now, just imprint and arch one more time, real quick. Release the pelvis, find your neutral for our marches. So mount the rib, the back of the ribs are on the mat, low back is hovering off the ground, supported with a towel if you need to, and then sacral and pelvis on mat. Activate the core, breathing out, and we're gonna start floating that leg up on a breath in without changing the position of the pelvis. Don't let the low back go into the mat, it's still arched. Breathe out, activate the core first, and then the leg goes down. Breathe in, back side of ribs, leg floats up with this side staying stable. Breathe out, first activate the core hollowing, leg relaxes down, keep some activation. This side stays stable as the opposite side floats on the breath in. No change on the pelvis or the back. Before the leg moves down, the core is fully activated. Keep the lengthening of the body. Keep the leg in the hip joint super relaxed. Now I'm going to add something. So we're going to march. From the march, now we're going to really work stability. You're going to drop this leg to the side, keeping the opposite side exactly the same. You're going to bring the leg back up, and then you're going to march it back down. So I'm going to show you a front view so you have an idea. You're going to march. Breathe in, breathe out. Activate the side that stays down and drop the leg down to the side only as far as this side here, the one that stays on the ground, does not rotate. Breathe in to bring it back. Breathe out to go back down. Other side, breathe in. Lift that leg up. Breathe out. Stabilize the side that stays down and drop the leg only as far as the opposite side stays stable. Breathe in to bring it back. Breathe out to march it down. Keep going. Okay, so this is super core activation and stabilization. So make sure that the opposite side is not moving. And also, to be able to maintain stability, you really need to release the leg in the hip joint. If it's gripping, you can't move the leg, and the whole pelvis is going to move with you. Okay, so we're doing about 6 to 8 of these. I'm going to do a lot of core stability work today. Bring it back up. Very nice, everyone. Good. So even out your sides, make sure they're the same that you started and you're ending with the opposite side. Okay? And then we're going to come up and we're going to keep the last leg up, or if you brought it down, just march it back up. We're going to go into single leg toe tap. So in print, bring the other leg up to 90 degrees, arms on the ground to stabilize, melt the chest and the ribs. Breathe out first, activate the core, and then very gently release that leg, lifting the abdominals to connect to the ribs, and then bring it back up. Remember, you don't have to go all the way down. The knees are hip width apart. First you activate, then the leg relaxes, and it breaths in to go up. The best thing to do always is to work the same rhythm that you go down, you're gonna come back up. So try not to yank things. Yeah, so it's not we're not working the hip flexors, we're just working it enough to keep that leg up there. Other than that, it's not doing much work. So 6 to 8 of these. When you're done, you can either hug your knee or we're going to start dropping it to the side. So from this position, remember, further away is more work. Knees closer to you is a little bit friendlier. Pick whatever is appropriate, and you're going to drop the leg to the side. So now you have less support because the other leg is up here. You really need to work the back of the body to keep that stability. Breathe out. Really stabilize the side that stays still while you move the other one only as far as nothing has shifted on the still side. Now, the arms on the floor are helping you. If you don't want that much help, you can bring the arm to the ceiling and not have it help you. Okay, it's going to be more challenging like this. Chest and ribs still anchored. So you don't have to move as wide as I'm moving, right? You just move as far as you're maintaining the stability of the opposite side. So another 6 to 8. Keep your sit bones reaching long. Good. That's about 8. And then you can hug the knees, rock side to side. Really good, everyone. So I'm going to bring the legs back down to give you that your hip flexors with a small break. We're going to work obliques a little bit with marching, and then I'm going to take the legs back up and make it a bit more difficult, okay? So we're going to bring elbows here. We're going to go into marches. So you're going to march. We're going to crunch, rotate, reach the arm into the inner leg, press, and bring it down, okay? So we're going to do the regular marches. You're going to crunch, rotate. Hand goes as far in as you can. Press the leg away. You're resisting with the leg with the against the arm, and then you come back down. If you need to use your hands, that's totally fine. You can start with the hands behind the head. When you crunch, you can keep your shoulder on the ground, reach, support that head, pressing back into your hand, not pushing it forward, okay? Now, let's cue the other side. So you're going to march, reach, hold. The opposite scapula is pressing on the ground, and the hip and the leg of the leg that's down pressing on the ground. So press the opposite side down, connect to the back of the body as you press to the front of the body. March and hold the side. Press the leg, resist. This scapula is pressing down, the opposite pelvis and foot pressing down as I really reach and press against the leg and the leg resists and down. Find all that connections as you go up and down. Give me 4 more like that. Breathe out. Already start pressing this hip down in the opposite scapula because it's going to keep you aligned. That way you can rotate on your axis without shifting the body. So press the scapula and the hip, then reach, press. And your head is just looking just into the knee you're reaching to. Last one. And bring it back down. Continuing, we're going to go with straight legs to the ceiling. So we're going to imprint, march one leg, imprint, march the other. Now, legs straight up to the ceiling is very related to your hamstrings. So you will go anywhere that your hamstrings can take it, okay? Doesn't have to be completely straight. I'm going to straighten it all the way, but you keep it as just as you wish. Now, if your hamstrings are tight and you're trying to straighten, you need to watch out for your low back. It's going to pull on it. So you can either go back to where we did this here, or at any level that you can straighten the arms, the legs. Arms to the ground, and we're going to reach the straight leg out to the side as we keep the one that stays reaching up, either the whole leg or reaching up to the knee as the leg drops out to the side this way and back. Okay, so we're going to go 8 to 10 here. If you don't want to use your arms can be reaching up to the ceiling so you have less support and you need to work your core more. Now, as you start dropping, pull the legs into the hip joint to give you more stability as you move. So you're literally vacuuming the leg in, and as it stays vacuumed in, it's also reaching away to give you more stability. Okay? Breathe out, scoop the abdominal first, lift it, keep the legs synced in so there's no movement. Nice. Keep the sit bones lengthening also so we're not shortening one side more than the other. Requires a lot of concentration, so take your time with these and don't just drop the leg, you're controlling it. Scoop. Last two. Nice. Last one. Keep anchoring. So this is my weak side. I have to work really hard to find that rooting and hug your knees to relax your hip flexors and back a bit. Good. So next thing we're gonna, while you guys rest, we're gonna drop both legs, okay? So two things, you can bring the hands behind the head. As I drop both legs to one side, I'm gonna so I'm dropping my legs away from the screen, but I'm rotating myself to you guys as I drop. And then I'm gonna pull my legs back with the abdominals there from this side. So I'm gonna pull back this way and square my shoulders. If you need to keep the arms down and just rotate, keeping the head and the shoulders down, that's totally fine as well. Okay, remember that the knees can be at any level that you need it to be. You choose what's appropriate for your back. Other than that, I have my hands behind my head clasped. My head is pushing against my arms and I'm opening up my elbows as much as my ribs stay in. I'm gonna drop down my legs towards you and I'm gonna rotate and press the opposite scapula on the ground and bring it back. I'm really not going very far. Breathe out, scoop, lift the abdominals. So I'm almost imprinting as best as I can. I'm rotating just enough towards you to keep enough stability on my upper body and back. Okay, so another 6 to 8 here. Breathe out, drop. And as I drop, because I need more stability, I'm imprinting and woo, keeping the opposite scapula on the ground. Don't let it come up. Breathe out, scoop and imprint. My legs are pulling into my hip joint so I don't lose so much stability. Imprint, legs sucked in. I'm rotating my opposite scapula on the ground. I'm using my obliques to pull my legs in. So my legs are now dropping to my right side. I'm rotating to my left. And then I'm gonna pull with my left obliques to pull the legs back. I'm gonna do last two. You guys all stopped? Okay. Bend the knees and hug and rock side to side. Good. All right, so last thing we're gonna do is just go with the legs up and down one at a time. So you can do here, or you can do toe taps. You decide. Okay, your arms can be next to you, or your arms can be up here, which is a little bit more challenging on your rib cage. So melt the ribs, try to go into your imprint. Pick whatever leg position is available for you. Press the ribs down, press the low back down, and breathe out. Reach the leg away, and only go as far down as there's no change on that low back. Breathe out. Reach away. Bring it in. Breathe out. Okay, so I'm really lifting my abdominals. I'm imprinting as my leg goes away. The other leg is hooked into the hip joint and reaching to the ceiling. 5, 6. Don't go down, go away from the body. 7, go away, away, reach, reach, reach. You should be able to go all the way down if you're going away. 8, away, 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 full breath out, full breath out. You guys are going a little too fast. Last 2, lift the abdominals. Remember, you don't need to work your arms, just keep your arms relaxed next to you. Good, and hug it in. I did say we're gonna do some tough core work. So when you keep the head down, it's so much more challenging on your core, yeah? Be careful with your back. If you're feeling stuff, you need to bend the knees and watch your range of motion. So let me fix your back for you. March the legs down. And we're going to go through some bridges. We did a lot of bridges last class. I hope you're feeling your buttocks. And we're going to do some nice different bridges today. Now, remember the side to side pelvic tilts that we did in the beginning of class? We're going to do them up on bridges as well, okay? First, let's just go through our sequence bridge. We're going to move one bone at a time up and down to mobilize and stretch the back a little bit after those abdominals. So heels in alignment with your sit bones, about 90-ish degrees on the legs, arms next to you, reaching down, shoulders and scapulas reaching to your feet, length on the back of the neck, from the crown and back of the head all the way to the tailbone. Breathe out, scoop the pelvic floor, abdominals imprint. Now press into your heels, squeeze your butt, and roll that pelvis off the mat. Let's just do half bridges. Keep reaching your knees and thighs forward. Breathe out, scoop the abdominal, roll down one bone at a time. Should be feeling really nice after those challenging abdominals. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out, scoop. Press into the heels, squeeze the butt, lift the tailbone, and roll that pelvis off the mat. In the meantime, you're also pressing the ribs into the mat. Yeah, so half bridge. Breathe in at the top, lengthen. Breathe out. Keep lengthening the tailbone and those thighs forward as you mobilize that low back, one bone at a time down. Keep reaching the scapulas down towards your butt or towards your feet. Don't pull the shoulders up. Keep going. Give me 3 more. Press into the heels, squeeze the glutes, roll up, maybe a little higher, not all the way up yet. Breathe out, roll down. So make sure your knees are not collapsing in, make sure it's not collapsing out. You have that alignment with the hip, and you're keeping that thigh reaching forward as best as you can. Okay, so we're gonna start going higher, and I want 3 to 4 as high as you can, okay? So each time you go up, you might want to go a little bit higher. Lengthen, reach the arms, tuck the chin, and press into the heels, scoop the abdominals, and roll. Good. Let me go at an angle so I can see you guys too. Scoop and go one bone at a time up. Remember to keep that connection of the chest and the ribs. You're lifting from the glutes and the hamstrings. Abs are working so hard to maintain that neutral. Go as high as you can. Breathe in. Reach those knees and tailbones, scapulas, neck, crown of the head also long. Breathe out from the esophagus. Relax the chest. Go from your higher rib down, and then try to lengthen the spine away from you as you go down one bone at a time, all the way to your neutral. Okay, keep going. I want 3 to 4. Breathe out, scoop. Press into the heels, squeeze the glutes. Make sure you're working them, yeah? Round and keep lifting one bone at a time. The longer those thighs are, the more even you're gonna be working on both sides. So keep lengthening everything away from you. Shoulders and scapulas pressing into the mat. Tuck your chin gently just to lengthen. Breathe in to lengthen everything from the highest point. Here, go down. And don't round those shoulders. Keep the scapulas glued to the mat. Keep lengthening the body and going down one bone at a time. Last one. Good. Reach that body long. Reach it long. Reach away. Form the longest line you can at the top. From the crown of the head, pull shoulders and scapulas down. And then from the highest rib, scoop that belly and go down. Mobilize that mid back, everybody. Keep reaching. Ooh, okay. Now we're gonna go up and hold, and we're gonna do pelvic rotation. Okay, if that's uncomfortable for you, just stay there and squeeze the butt. It should be fine with everybody. It shouldn't be anything that hurts anybody. So you're gonna find a position of the pelvis that you're comfortable holding without arching or overcompensating. Let's go. Chest and ribs, scapula and arm, press, scoop and roll. Press into your heels, keep rolling up. Okay? It's weird. All right, find the position you can hold. Really lengthen those knees. So I'm gonna come up on the hip that's closest to you. I'm gonna squeeze this glute and lift this up, and I'm gonna drop the other side down. So I've actually twisted my pelvis. I've rotated it. So my chest, my scapula stay the same. I'm gonna come back to neutral, squeeze the other side, and pull the side down, rotate my pelvis. Okay? Keep that esophagus tight. Breathe into center, breathe out, rotate. Keep lengthening your thighs and go 4, 5, 6. Don't move the ribs. 7. Abs tight, make sure you're not arching. 8, 9. Do it down here if you're feeling anything on your low back. And 10. Realign everything, lengthen, come down, one bone at a time, and take your time. If you need to do more than one breath, do it. And really mobilize through that spine. Beautiful. Cross the leg, pull it up and stretch. Pull the leg to you, push the knee away. Pull more. Do about 5 breaths. Okay, now keep the leg up here, and I want you to drop the leg to the side. Your shoulders don't move. And then pull it back up with your abdominals, okay? So it looks like this. Drop to the side, keep this shoulder down. Go as far as you want. You can touch your foot down if you have the flexibility. And then with the abdominals, pull back up. So we're doing 2 things. We're stretching deeper, and we're working the abs a little bit more. Drop to the side, press the opposite scapula down, and pull back up. So I would also like you to round your pelvis a little bit to make sure that your back stays a little bit safe. Drop to the side, and then pull with the abdominals back up. Excellent. So that's about 3. Let's do 3 more. Feels really nice. Drop to the side. My opposite shoulder is down. Yeah. And I pull with my abdominals. Tuck that tailbone in a little bit more. Last one. My arms are really gripping. Round the pelvis when you go to the side. And pull. Good. And switch legs. And let's do 5 breaths here. So hold that leg, pull and stretch. Oops, wrong arm. Press the knee away if you need to. Do a nice stretch. Four. And 5. Good. Release. Tuck your tailbone round the pelvis a bit and go. Keep the shoulder and the scapula down. Drop only as far as you can. Don't detach the shoulder. Use your obliques to pull it back. And drop to the side. Keep the shoulder down and pull. If you notice, you can go a little further each time. 3. Breathe in. Breathe out, pull. Or do an opposite breath if that works for you. Breathe in. So you need to work the shoulder and rib a little bit more. Pull. Keep tucking around in the pelvis. 5. Try to pull just with the abdominals so you work it. And 6. Nice. And hug your knees. Nice. Okay. Legs come down to the floor. And we're going to stretch the legs a little bit. We're going to go this leg, press the heel into the ground and glide it forward and pull back, pressing into the ground, okay? If you want to, you can keep the other leg straight as well, and you straighten both. You need to make sure your abdominals are working really hard so you're not arching the back. So let's do about 6 to each side. Again, it is lumbopelvic stability. So when the leg straightens, you have to make sure you're not arching. You're pushing everything into the mat. And then you're pushing the leg into the ground and dragging it. So imagine that you're trying to push a carpet away and drag the carpet back. Let's go. 2, press, press and pull. And don't change anything on the body. You'll be totally fine with the other leg bent if you need to. 4, and pull, pull. You're really dragging a heavy carpet back in. Push a heavy carpet away. And pull. And 6, push. And pull. Let's take that leg all the way back. Press, press, press. Reach. And the other leg. Press the heel into the ground. Pull that carpet into you. And push. You're pushing into the ground and pressing. So like you're digging a hole. Yeah, you're digging a hole on the ground. Keep that connection here and make sure there's no movement on your spine. So if you need to go into more imprint, do that if that helps you activate. If you have a towel or anything under your back, use that to push against to give you more stability. 4, I have no idea, but I'm just guessing. Push, dig that heel into the floor. 5, pull, 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 so you should feel your hamstring, and push. Last one, 6. And push away. Good. Open up your legs. We're going to go into roll up. So arms to the ceiling and then all the way back. Remember, you can do your roll ups with the legs bent and you can add support. Otherwise, we're going to come up. If you can do it with the inner thighs together, go for it. You're going to breathe in, arch to the ceiling, head up. Breathe out, scoop the abdominals. Round. Find the sit bone, lift the rib cage away and reach forward, keeping the sit bone super anchored. Breathe in to start going back, breathe out, pull the shoulders, press the legs into the mat, scoop the abdominals, and roll down one bone at a time. So the bridging and those leg glides were really actually good prep for this. So now we should be pretty mobile. If you want to make it harder, you keep your arms closer to your ears. Scoop. Pressing the legs, lift the rib cage, anchor the sit bone, go up and over a big beach ball. Let your head fall between your arms. Reach your upper back and your arms and your head forward as you reach the abdominals back. Breathe in to start coming back. Breathe out, shoulders, scapulars come down. Flex your feet, reach to the heels, press the legs down, come down one bone at a time. Okay, the legs flexing is going to give you more strength on those legs. Give me 2 more. Scoop and lift. Keep hollowing. Arms are up here if you want to make it harder. Lift. Look how I lift my rib cage. And as I keep scooping my abs back, I just reach my upper back, back of the head, and the arms forward. Breathe in, breathe out, press the legs down. If you can zip the inner thighs together, go for it. It'll give you more support. My back is tight. I can't. Okay, we have a last one, and then we're going to stay up there. Breathe in, breathe out, scoop. Come up, lift the rib, reach up and over, and now stack your spine to a seated position. Bend your elbows, hands come behind your back, and keep your elbows wide. I'm going to face you. We're going to now open the legs wider than hips, and we're going to do a little bit of rotation. So lift the spine. If you can't, bend the knees, yeah, to keep your spine up, or sit on something high. Otherwise, shoulders wide, elbows wide. Now squeeze your scapulars and activate your back muscles. Pull your whole body up with your arms. Rotate without moving the legs. So look, don't misalign the pelvis. They have to stay completely still. Lift the spine, rotate. Breathe in, come back. Simone, you need to bend your knees a little bit more because you're leaning back. Breathe out, rotate. Keep squeezing the scapulars and back to center. I'm gonna show you side view. So look at my back. I'm not like this. If you're doing it like this, you're messing up your back. So bend the knees until your back is straight. Okay? Breathe out, squeeze the scapula, rotate. Breathe into center. Squeeze the scapula, rotate. Center. Squeeze the scapulas, lift the spine, rotate. Don't let your legs move. One more. Now we're gonna add something. Squeeze scapula, rotate, hold it. Open up the arm, round the back and reach your pinky to pinky. Rotate the back hand and reach your back. Come back up. Hands go back behind your head. Rotate to the other side. Open up the arms. Reach your pinky to pinky. Rotate the back arm round to reach. Come back up. Hand behind. Rotate. Reach the arms. Scoop the belly round and reach the arms away. The back arm can rotate so you can reach more. Come back. Hands behind the back. Rotate. Open. Scoop. Rotate the back arm. Drop the head. Reach. Come back. Hands. Last one. Rotate, squeeze. Go as far as you can. Open up. Knees bend is fine. Scoop the abdominals. Reach, rotating the back hand. Drop the head. Last one, come up and go to the other side. Reach the arms, rotate, reach. Come back up here and release. Woo-hoo, nice work. Nice. From here, let's go ahead and go into our belly for back extension. So close your legs, come into the belly and rest here. The first back extension I'm going to do is a little bit different, okay? Similar to the saw maybe that we just did, okay? So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna start with the arms next to me. And let me show you this in this view. I'm going to reach one arm up, one down. I'm gonna rotate the arm that's down and I'm gonna reach this one up and that one away. And then I'm gonna come back to this position, okay? Now what I need you guys to start with is pull the belly off the ground. I'm gonna separate my legs hip width for me, okay? If you wanna keep it together, you can. I'm gonna lift abdominals and I'm gonna come into a tiny swan, pulling shoulders down. From this swan position, one arm goes up, one goes down, and I'm looking down at the one that's reaching down to my leg, keeping my baby swan, and then I come back, okay? So come shoulders down, come up into a baby swan. Release the arm. We've been doing this for a few weeks now. Reach one arm up, one arm down, and look at the arm that's reaching down. Come back into that baby swan, relax the arm, okay? So up into a baby swan. I'm gonna lift the arm that's closer to you guys. Lift and the other one goes down. I'm gonna keep the baby swan, rotate, reach at the other arm. One arm is reaching forward, the other one is reaching to my foot. Come into my baby swan position, rest my arm for a second. Abs tight, lengthen the tailbone, crown of the head. The swan is as big as you want. Lift the arm without losing. Reach one arm forward, one arm down, and look down at your arm as the other one is reaching away. Come back into the baby swan and relax the arms. Okay, so opposition. If you need to keep the body in line with itself, so just a nice long neutral line, that's fine. Reach one arm, just rotate and reach. I need the abs really tight. So grab, somebody's trying to pull you up and you're trying to grab your feet. Look at your hand on the, really reaching down. Come back. Okay, for those of you who need more challenge, come up higher and try to do it from up here. Much harder, okay? And if you don't want to touch, you don't have to. Try to go for 10. Reach opposition, come back. Opposition. Keep the opposite side down. I just shifted. I had to fix. I went this way. I pressed my opposite hip down so I don't shift. So keep the pelvis still. Try not to shift anywhere. Okay, I'm going to assume this is the last one. Make a pillow with your hand and rest. Breathe into your belly. Okay, so we're going to go into a plank position, and you guys can choose what you want. Before we go, just come up into your elbows, and let's do this. I need you to make a fist, pull, make a fist, pull, and we're trying to, again, activate the forearm. Pull, open, pull, open, pull, okay? All right, so when we come up into a plank, keep doing this as I talk to you. You can do it on your elbow, you can do it on your arms, you can do it on your knees, okay? So I'll show you the full plank position first, and then I'll show you the variations. If you cannot go into a full arm plank, just start it off on your elbows, okay? So if you're gonna stay on your elbow, you can stay here, and you can come into a plank position. We're gonna lift the leg, tap it to the side, go back up, come back down. Similar to the abdominals we've been working. You can do it with the knees down, reach, tap to the side, up and down. And then if you want to do it on your arms on the knees, you're going to reach, tap to the side, go back and back in. And full plank will be here. So I need a lot of core and I need a lot of stability. When your leg goes out to the side, you cannot shift. Okay, so you're gonna lift, the leg goes to the side, and this side is the one maintaining stability, so it doesn't go like this. So it's a lot of core. If you can't go too far, just go a little bit and come back, okay? So pick the range of motion that you think you can stabilize. Again, we're taking things to the side to work stability, so don't shift. I'm gonna count up to 10, do what you can, yeah? On the knees, on the elbows, off the knees, off the elbows, entirely up to you. So let's go. Pull the shoulders and scapulas down, press, wrap the scapula around, lift the ribs, lift the abdominals, and do whatever you need to do with the legs, okay? So I have them sit bones width apart. Press into the tips of your fingers and grab. Now, lift the leg only as far as your back doesn't collapse. Reach, bring it to the side as far as the opposite side doesn't move. Come back, come in. Your glutes have to work, so squeeze your butt. Lift, take it to the side. Bring it back and in. 3. And in. Tuck your pelvis, work the glutes. Actually, it's much better if your pelvis is in neutral, so you can actually move that leg up. 5. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Keep challenging. Good. 8. 9. Good. Abs, everybody. Good. So for those of you who cannot be on your arms, stretch back. Good. Yeah, for those of you who cannot do planks, Mona, good. Just do the same thing, abdominals, yeah? You're on your back, leg, drop to the side, come back, in. So you can drop it down, up, side, and in like we're doing, yeah? Stretch back. Come into your belly. I'm gonna give your arms a break. We're gonna go into another back extension. We're good? All right, so we did a little bit of rotation. We're just gonna do basic extension. So hands next to you. Abs really tight. Lengthen the legs at whatever width is comfortable for your low back. So I have sit bones width. And let's go into our swans. Pull the shoulders and scapulars down, lengthen the back of the neck and head, lift the abdominals and lengthen the tailbone. As you pull the scapulars down and you lengthen the body, press into the arms, lift the abdominals and come up as high as your back doesn't hurt. So we're going beyond baby swan today, if it's okay with you. Don't push through your arms, Vanya. It's not a push-up, okay? So for you, I prefer that you come up without the arms and work the upper back instead of pushing. The arms should barely be moving, should barely be pushing. It's mostly the back doing your work. So pull the shoulders and scapulars away, lengthen, lift the abdominals. Look, this is all me up to here still. My arms are not doing much work. My back is still pulling, my abdominals are tight. My arm is just helping me, but not pushing and rounding my shoulders. So just lift as far as you feel that there's no pressure on the low back and come back. So I'm very fine with those of you who need to be here. Abs tight, lift the arms, come down and work that upper spine much more than full spine. Okay, coming up a little higher is a bit more advanced. You don't need to do it. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, tuck the chin, come up. Focus on the upper back. Try to give me about 8. For those of you coming a little higher, your abs need to be tight. Okay? Lengthening that spine as much as you can. Keep pulling the shoulders and scapulars. Lift through that upper back. Shift that chest forward, everybody. Keep shifting the chest forward, 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 but the abdominals up, up, up. Good. Oh, I'm surprised how wide my legs open on their own to make room for my low back. Good. So give me one more. And in. Good. Make a pillow with your hand. We're going to go into a plank and a pike. So breathe into your belly about 2 to 3 breaths. And we're going to go into a different plank. All right. So we're going to do a rotated plank and pike. For those of you who remember our plank and pike, you come into a plank and we pike into a down dog and back into a plank, right? Today, we're going to bring your feet together and we're going to rotate the feet to one side, but keep the shoulders down. So when you pike, my hip is going to be facing you, but my chest and shoulders are facing down. I'm going to pike, and instead of coming into a plank, I'm just going to bring my knees down. And it comes in line with this hand, not in the middle of the body. I'm not supposed to go down. I touch, and I lift the pelvis, and I go into a plank, a pike. I touch the knees, and I lift. So my obliques are working here, okay? So I start with the knees this way, my feet, toes next to each other, but facing at a 45-degree angle. You may do that on your elbow as well. And if you can't do that, do knees side to side, okay? Like we did at the beginning, with the legs straight or knees bent. You can do one leg at a time or both legs dropping to the side. Otherwise, we're here, knees come up, you come into a pike. So my body's facing diagonal, chest and shoulders down, tap the knee down, and use my left obliques to come up, okay? So the abdominals really working are the opposite side, okay? So the knees are in line with this hand. And look at my pike. It's not a plank, it's a down dog, ladies. Tamara, it's a down dog, so it's a down dog. Yep. So the knees should be facing the TV or the computer, my chest down. Then I bend the elbows, it taps down. I'm almost in a 90-degree position. Then I scoop my opposite obliques to bring it back up. Try to do 4 to 6 on this side. Breathe in, breathe out, bring it down. Breathe in, push. Keep that chest facing forward. Keep the knees and the toes rotated to the opposite side. Tap. Push, tap, good. Push. Now, if you need to come back to center, knees down, stretch back before we go to the other side, okay? So all you need to do is rotate it to the other side and do the same thing. Again, if you're on your elbows, you can try to be doing this, okay? Same thing. So let's go into the other side. Come into your down dog if that's the easiest thing. So from all four positions, curl your toes, come up. Now rotate the toes and the pelvis to the other side, but keep your shoulders square to your hands. Push more, lift, and bend the knee to the opposite side and lift. So I'm going to my left and my right obliques are helping me come back up. 3, watch your shoulders away from the ears. Use your abdominals to lift you. Breathe out. Rotate those knees to that hand and breathe in up. Don't rotate the shoulders. Tap. Tap. And then last one, tap. Rotate everything to the front, toes together, knees apart, relax the toes, push your pelvis back, reach the arms and then press the chest down into child's pose. Good, and breathe. If you need to, palms to ceiling, and let's do a little bit of a pull, reactivate the forearms. Nice. Good. Okay. All right. So we're going to do push-ups to end this nice, lovely arm series. I know your arms are tired, but it's fine. And we're going to add, again, rotation to this, okay? So rotational theme. We're going to come up and we're going to do bend knees push-ups, okay? You can lift your feet up if you feel it's okay. Shoulders wide, hands under the shoulders, and we're going to do those elbows to the side, come up. Relax your toes if you need to, and try to rotate and come back. When you rotate, don't fall into that other arm, okay? So try to keep your inner thighs together. Your toes can be on the ground. Try to maintain your alignment and open up, pushing this hip and chest forward, not back. And then go into a push-up again, come back, and rotate to the other side. Woo! So if this is too hard, open the knees a little wider. It's going to give you more support. Okay, knees together is going to be a lot more challenging on your core. So here, with the knees together, let me be in front of the camera, and you're going to push shoulders and scapulas wide and open. I'm pushing everything to that direction to open. I'm not collapsing to the opposite. I'm pushing it to the side. I'm opening and coming back. Shoulders wide, hug the scapula, push up. Now I'm gonna push everything to this direction. Woo, as I open, push. So my bottom hip is really pushing to help me open, come back, push up. So 8 to 10. Now I'm turning to my right, so my left hip is gonna rotate me to push and come back in, push up. So I'm rotating to my left. My right hip is gonna start rotating me open, and this arm is pressing down so my shoulder's not collapsing. Push up. Abs tight. Rotate through the pelvis, and then the spine, the neck, and the head. Woo-hoo! This is hard. Breathe in if you want. Breathe out. Start rotating from the pelvis to help you. Okay, the pelvis is going to give you that stability. Rotate. Mona, you can do the opposite arm. You can do the stuff if you can do your push-ups, yeah? We can do it with the legs up. All right. All right. When you're done with that really challenging movement, you can stretch back. All right. And come up to seated. Guys, we're done. Let's just stretch your arms a little bit over time. So pull the shoulder down and across. Nice work. Good. Rotate your wrist if you need to, or do a bit of shooting stars, just to release the wrist. Nice. Roll the shoulders, bring the other arm across. Rotate the wrist. Shooting star. Arms to the back, shoulders down, squeeze the scapulars, reach the arms, and lift the chest. So squeeze the scapulars, reach the arm back and down, and lift the chest, breathing into the chest. Good. Shoulders down, reach more, lift more. And release. Round your hands. Breathe out, round that back, reach the arms, drop the head, breathe 2 breaths into your back. Relax the head and neck. And then reach your arms to the ceiling, rotate the hands to the ceiling, reach. Breathe out slowly, opening the arms to the side. Thank you, guys. Beautiful class. Good job.
Awesome class.
Challenging.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Habibti.